This is Anthony Peterson. What's going on, champ?
What's up, big homie?
How are you?
Man, I can't complain, man. Just, living my best life. That's all I can say.
Oh man, that's great. That's great to hear, man. Well, we know you're back in action on a big card. You're gonna be obviously in your area with the Tank Davis versus Hector Lewis Garcia undercard, man, and you're gonna get to share the ring on a big card on that Saturday night, January 7th. So just talk to me a little bit about getting back in there.
Oh, man, I feel great. I just came off a May 28th 6 round KO performance in DC at the DC Arena. And October 1st, the fight got canceled a day before. So, I've been active lately. My activity gonna show up January 7th at the Capital One Arena and at Javante Tank Davis undercard. And a lot of people who don't know, a lot of people who are oblivious to the fact that my brother is coming back too. Lamont Peterson will be making his return to the ring January 7th as well.
On the same card.
Same card, yes, sir.
Oh wow. That
Yeah,
is
Lamont, man.
I was
Yeah, Lamont.
oblivious to that.
Yeah, Lamont different, man. Lamont. I just can't wait, man. I feel sorry for the people that got to face him. I mean, the things that we built, for I know a lot of people like, well, they passed their age, they passed their prime. I like that. I like to hear that because, like I said, once they see it, everybody will change their mind. You know what I mean about what's going on because, like I said, everything evolved. Everybody's not it's not the same. Like when you hit your 30s, normally it'd be like, it's over for you, automatically done. Especially past your mid 30s, like it's over. But if you look at the technology and the just even humans evolving, period. You know what I mean? With Tom Brady, LeBron James, Vince Carter, a lot of guys that stay around for a while. Bernard Hopkins. Um, so, like I said, we got a lot of confidence, and we have the genetic makeup, the athleticism to pull this off.
Absolutely. I mean, you've been doing this for a minute. Um, so you definitely have learned on the job and have been around, you know, the elite and the who's who, not only fighters but trainers as well. Which brings me to my question: are you still with Coach Barry Hunter, or are you being trained
No,
with someone else?
Lamar Peterson is we train each other.
Oh,
And we have Sean Johnson, James Baker, and my guy Heavy. They all we all sparred them before it's coming because Sean Johnson was the 1996 alternate, and James Baker for Floyd Mayweather a few times, and Chico Corrales in the amateurs. So they very seasoned veterans in the game, and me and my brother both sparred them as youngsters, so they know our style, they know our our mentality, they know certain things that a coach should know um, going onto this battlefield. But as it stand now, me and Lamont definitely coach each other. We motivate each other, and we down for each other. Because like I said, no disrespect to Burry or the Headbangers, like we just had to get out of there. We had to do our own thing.
why is that? I mean, there's a lot of work there too.
A lot of work. What you mean? A lot of work on what part?
Like sparring, right? That gym stays pretty packed in there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't need no packed gym. I don't need a whole bunch of elite athletes in my way. Especially like I said, if a lot of people always wonder, ask questions like, "Why you never got no big fight? How come your brother was getting big fights? Because I ain't got no big fight." Well, I'm about to tell you, because a lot of guys was in my gym that a potential big fight, like a Robert Easton, Jamil Herring, Javante Tank Davis, uh, um, Adrian Brawner, uh, what's his name, Brandon something. A lot of these guys from the band camp from Cincinnati were in my weight class in my gym. So I never really got and once they see me in it operating and training and stuff, and they seen how cool I was, they were like, nah, I don't want to fight Peterson, man. Like, not that they were scared to get in the ring with me, but they befriend me. They fell in love with my personality. Like, nah, Peterson, he can fight and he a good dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fight this dude. You know what I mean? And that's the story of my life. And I had to watch Adrian Brawner, had to watch Robert Easton, had to watch all these guys come to my gym and get work. I mean, like one-on-one time, all the things that I supposed to been getting, they was getting. And this is my hometown. So imagine you doing your podcast right now, and somebody be like, man, that interview Ed did was fire, and they giving somebody else the props. They don't give you no props. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll feel like, hold up, like what the hell is going on around here? So I seen that to lead somebody in a battlefield,
Lamont, or can you
especially the
get?
battlefield, we going on an elite
Okay.
level.
You seem to be losing your internet. I don't know if you switched off the Wi-Fi or something.
Oh no, I'm on Wi-Fi. I got all my
Okay.
bars.
Nah, you good now. You good now. You was frozen up.
Okay, okay. But like I said, it's just like you being on that battlefield, you got to know how to be. You got to be on that battlefield before. You mean like, and there's no disrespect to Barry. Barry never been in the ring before, so he can't really identify and really give me the true essence of what it's like to be in the ring. Just like for instance, if you and I were sitting in the front of a million of women who was pregnant or about to get pregnant or had a baby before, how the hell me and you gonna tell them how to have a baby or know what it feel when it comes? We can watch all the videos in the world. 90 million women having babies. We can watch that all day. But we will never know the true essence of how and when to have a baby when it comes, like these women do, because they experience, they built for this. And I feel like me and my brother, we just didn't have the extra, the extra thing that we needed, far as the health, the technology, the dietitians, the nutritionists, and stuff like that. And I got a 39-1 record with no training camp. This is no secret. All fighters know this that's been around me. They know I never had a training camp before. I've never had a training camp where it's just though it's strictly about Anthony Christopher Peterson. Not Lamont, not Adrian Bronner, not Javante Tank Davis, not nobody. Just strictly Anthony Peterson. I've never had that before.
So basically, you felt like you've never been treated as the sole fighter from the trainer, just like you and him. You wanted you are seeking that one-on-one time.
Right. But it never happened because he was so busy trying to collect and help other fighters. Like now you taking attention away from me. Like I said, I like what Dirk James said the other day. He said, I'm not trying to train no 20 different, 15 different fighters. I just need three that I can focus on and give all my attention to, because Dirk James been in the ring before. He's been a professional. He know it takes these type of things to be the elite fighter. And what we was getting, it was bush league. It was watered down teaching. It was watered down coaching. It was watered down protecting. It was watered down a lot of things. You know what I mean? And this is not a verbal bash, or I'm just telling my story. I'm telling the truth of what happened. You know what I mean? And
So with Lamont and yourself, obviously you've never really gone away, but Lamont kind of retired. Are you guys back with Al? Are you independent? Because you're not with Barry. So what's the managerial promotional situation? Because you are on a tank card, so it has us believing you may still be with Al Heyman.
no, we not with Al Heyman. Tank just
Okay.
did that from the likeness of his heart, because he know when he was young, 10, 11 years old, even when he turned 18, Calvin dropped him off at the headbanger gym. Like, look, man, work on my child. Work on him. I need y'all to help him. And as Calvin sat in the corner and didn't say nothing, and watched me Lamont take turns on disciplining Tank in the ring, showing him the real ropes, a real education, things that coaches can't do. Me Lamont literally coach a lot of fighters that's out here in the ring. I watched one time Lamont sparring Jared Hurd in one ring, and I'm sparring Austin Trout in another. I watched Lamont spar Adrian Braun in one ring, and I'm sparring Robert Eason in one. I watched Lamont spar Shakur Stevenson, and I'm sparring Richard Hitchens in another ring. And we're talking verbally. No, bro, you're not like. Why would you do this? This don't make sense to do this. If you was the jack like this, giving them pointers that coaches can't do in the ring, and we were still in our prime, and a lot of people was getting the props, and like we wasn't.
For sure. So do you feel like you have to be a fighter to be a great trainer?
No, I feel like you have to have some type of understanding, as far as being in there, and the percentage of you will be the percentage of being a great trainer will be high. I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but the percentage of you being a great trainer will be very high because you know. You understand? And not being arrogant and think you know everything and think you can conquer everything, because boxing is different. You can't really compare boxing to other sports. That's why everybody be like the sport of boxing. I was like, nah, I think this organized crime, my man. You know what I mean? Because boxing stands alone. You need obstacles to play football. If the football is not there, nobody plays. If the basketball is not there, nobody plays. Soccer, baseball, hockey, the rest of them. Boxing, all you need is the individual. You know what I mean? You can't call no timeout, substitution when things ain't going your way or you suffered a mild injury or whatever. You know what I mean? You can't. And when you take a loss in basketball, they go in the back. They got food, of refreshments, family back there meeting and greeting. You can see the players dapping each other up, saying what's up. Even in football and boxing, bruh, some people never get over that shit. Some people take a loss and never get over it
Word.
because it's nothing like losing a fight. It's a difference, man. A fight, and you put your soul on the line. You put your everything on the line, and it all goes
You
away in
done
one night.
yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling
My
through
bad.
videos? You're not paying me overtime here.
That's box rec. I
It
had your
happens.
box rec open. They had a fucking ad. Go ahead. I
It
apologize.
happens. It happens.
Anthony, I wanted to ask, at this point for you and your brother, where do you guys feel like the hunger comes from? Because obviously different stages in your guys' career. Um, what's the ultimate goal at this point, and where do you guys get that hunger from at this point?
Well, we get the hunger from my biological father, Julius James Peterson, aka Squirrel. Um, Now that's just, I'm glad I said his name because a lot of people was ignorant to the fact that Burry was not taking care of me in Lamont. My father was taking care of me. When you, that ESPN clips and all that shit went too far. But it was out there, so we couldn't really take it back. These things happened about me and my brother being homeless and foster care and shelter and all that. But people got this image that me and Lamont was on the street corner, sleep, cold, hungry, and Burry came with a blanket, wrapped us up, and took us home and took us to the gym. That's not what happened. We met Burry through my brother-in-law, Patrice Hurst, who's in Creed 2 and Creed 3. Um, Pad Man, everybody called him Pad Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's married to my sister. Boogie is married to my sister. He's my brother-in-law. So he was the one that saw Lamont hand game at 7 years old and reported it to Burry. And Burry was like, "Oh, okay. I heard about Woo," and they brought him to Burry, and the rest was history. But we never lived with Burry. Um, and I want to make that clear because a lot of people, you know, my father, he got out of jail. My father was facing like 20 years or something like that. He didn't snitch. He didn't do nothing. He worked the system. He got himself out of jail, and he came and got his back out of the foster kid system. My father got no props for that. Instead, we went on national TV and verbally bashed my father and told all his demons without telling the the resiliency that he had. How you think Lamont was coming back in those fights, giving all those dudes work? He got the resiliency from my father, Julius James Peterson. My father was on crack, coke, heroin, PCP, all of these things. He beat that, got his kids back, got his job, got his life in order, and now my father living. My father's about to be 74. I went to go see him the other day. Man, that man flew down the steps like he was a goddamn teenager. You know what I mean? So these are things that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people need to know that Barry Hunter was not the person. And no, don't get me wrong. In boxing, he took care of us, like for the uniforms and taking us out of town and teaching us little small things like personal hygienes, um, um, just small little things like how to deal with things when it come in life situations. But far as housing and
Champ, you cut out.
You there? Uh-oh.
Looks like we may
Hang
have
up and come
lost.
back in, champ. It looked like he muted himself.
Mm. Bear
Hopefully.
with us as we do try to get Anthony Peterson back.
Bro, and Twitter Spaces still ain't working, man. They trash, bro.
And you was just in support of
What
you.
is that?
What
Bro,
the fuck?
What the fudge? Okay, so I have no clue what that is. Is is that Twitter? It is. Look, why is okay? So I don't know why that's happening.
Okay.
So Twitter has some sort of music. I'm telling you, Twitter Spaces is crazy.
Bro, ever since Elon Musk came in the picture.
Nah, don't blame Elon. Here we go. Ant, you there? Let's see. Let's see if we get this right. You
Can y'all
there?
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I pressed somebody call and I try to press the end button and I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
But
nah, it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
good.
that's
It's all good. It's cause you on the phone, but yeah, man. So I want to talk specifically about an interview I think the Tank did with Brian Custer, maybe Danny. I'm not sure, but he basically said he wants to get out of the game in about 2 more years, so he can help others. But then I hear you say that he specifically pushed to get you and his brother and your brother on this card. So do you think he's talking specifically about, guys like you and Lamont and other fighters out of Baltimore and that area that he wants to help out?
at this point I haven't talked to him verbally to get enough information on where he's going with this. Um, I don't know, but I know right now he's shining. He's doing everything that I said he was going to do when he was young. When I seen him at the press conference, he touched me on my shoulder, and I looked to my left. I see him. He had that expression on his face, like, "Hey, big bro, everything you told me when I was young is happening, man. You see it?" Like, and I gave him a hug and I told him I love him. And he went up on stage and gave me and my brother the biggest flowers you could ever get while you were alive. And that meant the world to me because, like I said, man, my brother. People don't know that, man. My brother was running a kind of like a group home. Um, those fights that you saw, Lamont fighting those big fights, those ESPN days, we was living in the projects, bro. But
Mm.
we would still have kids over every weekend, like 12 to 14 different kids in a 2 bedroom apartment. And I can name the names that was there. But like I said, man, my brother don't get enough props, man, enough things that we did for a lot of youngsters that's dead to this day. A lot of the guys that we try to raise in the game, they fell to the streets. You know, man, the streets is mean. And yeah, we Javante Tank Davis was one of them. My nephew Patrick, him and Patrick grew up together, fighting each other. Um, a variety of them, man, that we watched grow up, and now, like I said, we starting to see the fruits of just being genuine to youngins, man. To always never writing them off or never say you can't take no picture with me or you can't hang with me. We literally was having kids over every weekend. Um, and like I said, man, it's been a beautiful journey to see what we've been through and achieve what we achieved. It's staggering to me, man. Especially me with no training camp and the living conditions we was living in. Because people don't understand, like when Lamont beat American December 10th, 2011, we went back to the projects, bro. I mean 2012, I'm sorry. We went back to the projects. When Lamont fought Lucas Matisse, we went back to the projects. When Lamont fought Kendall
But
Hall,
wait, but wait, but wait. Why? Because you had Al, Lamont had Al, so you was being paid. Are you saying the money was not getting to Lamont?
I won't say the money wasn't getting to Lamont, but we were comfortable. We didn't have nobody in our that to really press that envelope. Like, look, y'all gotta get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? And like I said, we definitely could afford mansions and all that, but we chose to stay in a 2 bedroom apartment in a projects on 30th Street in Southeast. And if you look up 30th Street Southeast in DC, oh my goodness, it's one of the most notorious street corners with pimps, heroin addicts, crack addicts, robbers, pushers, killers, all that type of stuff. And we were on the front line. We wasn't in the back. We wasn't in the cut. We were on the front line. First floor, drapes always wide open. Um, just have no understanding of, because we never been robbed before. We never been mugged before. And I'm not saying this to say no gangster shit. Like, people just respected us and respected our story. So it was like, nah, Peterson and them, man, they good. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't a good thing because, like I said, a lot of things that being in that area, it'll eventually get on you. You know what I mean? And a lot of bad habits claim on to me, and that's going on to this documentary that I'm coming out with called 30-30-30. I was 30-0, living on 30th Street with 30 bad habits. You understand? And you're about to go on HBO 9/11, 2010 to go against your biggest fight of your life, and you think you about to be successful? Nuh.
That was a great fight. That's actually like, you know, one of the ones I remember is that Brandon Rios fight. Obviously, I wish it would have played out differently. But do you have an opponent? Is it TBA? Do you know who you getting prepared for?
Yeah, well, I was getting prepared for one guy, he fell out, and I was getting prepared for another guy, he fell out. So now they got another guy. So we're gonna see how this works. But
So 140, 147, what? Because I see you came in for the Saul fight at 144.
yeah, I came into the Saul fight at 144 because that's the only opponent that I had, and that's the weight that they had, 143 plus one. But I'm looking at lightweight. A lot of people may say this far fetched, but like I said, I've never had a dietitianist before. I never had a nutritionist. I never had any of these things. If you look at my body right now, at 38 years old, it's better than most all teenagers that I've seen. Every person that I've been in the ring with, when I take my shirt off and we show off in the ring, you can see who's the fresher fighter. And these are 19, 21 year olds, 23 year olds, and you can see who the fresher body. When I went to Devin Haney's training camp, when he was getting ready for JoJo, this was last year around November. Me and Devin had sparred for 4 rounds. One of his handlers could not believe that I was that age. I was 36 at the time. He was like, "Yo, man, you shot, man. Like, so, like, how old are you? 24, 25?" I said, "Hell nah, bro. I'm 36." He said, "What?" And I went in my bag, got my ID, and I showed him. He was like, "No fucking way, bro." And like you can see the respect after I gave Devin work. So which was great work. Devin is a lot of people sleep on. Devin got good power, man. He ain't got tank power, but Shorty got some good power. Power you can't just roll up on him and be disrespectful.
You
And Shorty
know,
got this.
you can't talk about those two without asking you how that fight gonna play out when it happened. You've been in
Tank.
the ring with both, and you
Yeah, I've been in the
basically
ring with
watched
both.
Tank grow up. So I got the axe.
Tank. And it's crazy because I ran into Bill Haney in Dallas, August the 5th. He seen my podcast. He seen my interview that I did. They asked me the same question. They said, "Who you got, Devin or Tank?" And I told him, I don't care if I knew Devin for 20 years and I knew Tank for 20 minutes. When I see what I see, I'm gonna say what I say. And when I feel what I feel, that's what I'm gonna go with. And he approached me in the lobby. He was like, "What's up, Peters?" I'm like, "What's up?" He was like, "I saw your podcast you did, man." He was like, "Man, I thought like, what's up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I said it. I said Tank will beat Devin. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion." And he was like, "Nah, I wasn't nothing like that. I just thought because the times that we shared up in the training camp that he would think I would go with Devin. I'm not that type of person. Just because I befriend you or like you, I'm still gonna call a spade, even with my own ass in a blender. I'm gonna call it like it is. You know what I mean? So right now, I just think that nobody's fucking with Tank. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that's just what it is. And he you gotta kill Shorty in there. He got that mentality where it's though like you gotta take him out. He's not gonna go on his feet. He's not gonna go uh willingly. You're gonna have to get rid of him, like that type. And like I said, he got that power too, man. I've been in there with Zab and Tank is neck and neck when it comes to punching power.
Have you shared the ring with Ryan Garcia? Because obviously that's the big fight for Tank next year. Once he gets past the January 7th date, how do you see that fight playing out? A lot of people think that Ryan can match him in power and probably is faster than Tank. You've been in the ring with Tank. At the very least, if you haven't shared the ring with Ryan, I mean, what does your eyes tell you?
My eyes and my heart tell me Tank. I just think when he catch Shorty, he gonna see how real and Mr. Little Pretty Boy Johnny Cage gonna be like this. Oh my goodness, like all them followers ain't gonna be able to help you. When Shorty, when shit get real in that ring, all them likes and views and celebrity status, that shit ain't gonna be able to help you, bro. You know what I mean? That's real. I just feel like um Tank is more seasoned, stronger, faster. The only thing that he got over Tank is the height, and height is not a really advantage if you don't know how to use it.
For real, because I hear plenty of trainers say that height, it don't matter. You know, every time I see a fighter face, I'm like, oh, he taller. Like that. That don't matter.
It don't matter. To me, I prefer to fight a taller person. I got all knockouts with taller persons because for me, I feel like I go off calculation. It takes a long time for that jab, that long arm to come out, and it takes a long time to travel back. And you're a big target. You are exposed. That's why I feel like taller fighters are better for me because you're a big target, and it's going to take a lot of time for that arm to travel out and to travel back. And you find that time, and you find your mix to get in there, and you be all good.
So, Anthony, obviously, with you feeling the way that you feel about Barry being too busy and not focusing on the fighters, have you and your brother opened your own gym? Are you working out of another gym? Is that the plan? Because obviously, there's still a lot of talent that goes through the Barry Hunter gym. And if you feel they're not being nourished properly, what are you going to do? Because I remember Scooter when I used to go see you guys, and I'm sure he's about to be old enough to turn pro, and you know what's gonna
Facts.
happen to him.
Well, I mind my business on that. I keep my nose out of that. If they ever come to me, ask for my help, I'll be glad to do it. But I'm not going to impose anything on them or go to them and say, man, you need to get out of there because I'm not about to do that. They'll figure this out on their own. They will make the decision on their own. And if they don't, they don't. They still cool with me. And if they do, they still cool with me too. Like I said, I have no bad blood against Burry, the Headbangers, or any of that. And shout out to my little nephew, Nasheed Smith. He just won the USA Championships. He won the Golden Gloves and the USA Championships. And Coach Boogie and Coach Jamie took him up to championships, and they did their thing. So congratulations to them.
But do you guys have your own gym?
No, we don't. Right now, we everywhere right now. Like I said, it's not a gym that we can't go to that people will be happy to have me and my brother. The only thing is we got to take a lot of pictures. We got to answer a lot of questions. A lot of people want to know, you know, like what's going on, why y'all not with Barry. We've been hearing things. Is this true? You know, a lot of things. But like I said, when my documentary come out, you know, it's gonna be a lot of shit, man. And I'm telling it all. You know what I mean? With my own ass in the blender, nobody gets no pass on my story.
So
Even the
when does
little
that?
animals.
When does it drop, and how could the audience find it?
It's gonna drop 2023 for sure. Summer 2023. Freeway Rick Ross, who's my partner in boxing and in life. Um, he's helping me with that because you know Rick, he the first person to ever presented books to me. Like I'm reading right now the Richest Man in Babylon. I just read As a Man Thinketh, 21 Keys to Success, those type of things that I needed to read. Because this money that I'm about to, you know, generate, is well needed. I need to be educated on what to do with my money. You know what I'm saying? Where to go, um, the knowledge that I need, everything that I need to, you know, keep my money and not go broke.
So there's kind of a I mean, people seem to believe that Al Heyman helps his fighters with that. Like a lot of Al Heyman fighters talk about real estate and how Al helped them and,
I
do
talked to
certain
Al. I talked to Al 3 times, and
oh,
the times that I talked to him, I didn't even know who he was. You know what I mean?
oh.
And to be honest, it was you who did that. Yeah, I don't know if you know, man. Lamont, it's January 26th in Washington D.C. Lamont was fighting Dury John. You stopped me. I had a red scarf on. If you look at my YouTube, it's on there. It was you who put that interview out there that made Al Heyman see that I was a free agent. Because it was you who said, like, because actually I wasn't about to do the interview with you because I was so frustrated because I was on this card, but they took me off the week of the fight. So I already cut weight, did everything I needed to do, sacrifice, discipline. Burry called me in the room Tuesday. We fight Saturday. He told me, yeah, man, you ain't fighting because, you know. And then, like I said, he took me off the card and put 3 other fighters on there that didn't have the chemistry and have the history that me and Burry had. He just took me off. because he made an excuse saying like they wanted to sign me or some shit like that, which I wasn't even in the room, so I don't know if it's true or false. He took me off the card and put 3 other fighters on it. So of course I'm super frustrated. I'm walking around. This is the first time I denied people of pictures and autographs and all that type of stuff. And you was like Peterson, and I was about to blow up on you, but I'm like, you know what? I need to do this interview because people need to know what the fuck is going on. I was like, all right, bro, roll the cameras. And he was like, yeah, like a lot of people want to know, man. You know, since the Brandon Rios fight, the last time we seen you fight was such and such. Your fans want to see you rolling, man. Like, what's going on? And I told you what was going on, and I told you that I wasn't with Golden Boy, and I guess Al Heyman, one of his handlers, saw it, got in contact with Burry, and then that's when we signed. I signed with Al, and like I said, this is true story. I didn't sign. They just said you signed with Al Heyman. I didn't get no contract and saying, okay, these are the things that you got to apply. These are the things you got to do. I was just so happy to be back in the mix and be able to show my talent and make some money. I was like, bet, let's rock. And I've been on the back burner ever since. Like, Al Heyman, he did the best he could do as far as like with my career, but it's not what I was looking for because I'm not trying to be on no under. It's like when Lamont fought Earl Spence, people didn't even know I fought that night because I was 37-1, the second bout. I was the second bout. It was guys that was 4-0, 9-2, fighting after me. So I had to go around. I had like a little whelps under my eye. So people was like, yeah, man, I hope your brother do his thing tonight. When you fighting again? I had to take my glasses off. I fought tonight. People like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I fought tonight. They was like, man, who the fuck is handling you, bro? Like, how is this happening? Like, you have the best record on the card. How is this happening? But this wasn't new. They was doing that shit with Top Rank too. Because let me reassure you on something. Before I fought Brandon Rios that year, I fought March 11th in Texas. Follow me on this, brothers. I was the first bout. Sam Peter was on the card too. I was 29-0 with 19 knockouts. I was 25 years old in my prime. Signed with Top Rank. These people had me the first fucking fight. And get this. Imagine this. You know how when the seconds, he look at the seconds, they ring the bell? We just sitting there looking at each other, waiting for the bell to ring. The bell never fucking ring. So 2 minutes later, we like, what's going on? Oh, the doctor not here. Y'all got to get out of the ring and go in the back. This is a 29-0 fighter signed with Top Rank, bruh. Like, are you serious? So I had to go in the back and wait for like about 30 minutes for the doctor to come. At this time, my hands are already wrapped, so now they're getting numb. So I'm asking Burry, man, take these off. And like he telling me some old war story, man. People in the war, man, you gotta suck that up. Well, bro, have you ever been in the ring before, bro? Have you ever had your hands numb and gotta go in there and fight? So you can't identify with me right now. So are you just telling me just shut the fuck up and go out there and fight? So I go in there, I knock the dude out in the third round. I become 30-0 with 20 knockouts now. So from there on, I go to the Pacquiao fight the next day, which he fought Joshua Clottey at the Cowboy Stadium. They broadcasted on a big screen that Peterson will be fighting for the WBC championship against Humberto Soto at the Yankee Stadium June the 5th on the Miguel Cotto's undercard. It blew my goddamn mind. Like, I couldn't believe because I was bitter the night before about them treating me the way they treated me. So I'm like, okay, they made that up. They got me my championship fight, and it's all good. People in the arena shaking my hand, congratulating me. I felt like I went to another level because I was about to fight for the championship. And keep in mind, from that time that I found out I was fighting for the championship, I had 12 weeks to prepare. I was gonna break every round down. I was gonna break every round down each week. This first week is the first round. The second week is the second round. We're gonna plot this all thing out. So BET talking about it, radio stations talking about it, everybody's talking about it. I'm talking about everybody. Bus stations, I'm going everywhere. People, treating me different, trying to, like get in. Like, man, you about to fight for the not only for a belt, you about to fight for that green belt. That green belt hold a little bit more significance than the other. You know what's up.
Absolutely.
And so we get to like the 8th week. The intensity was up. I come to the gym. Burry was like, so I'm like, Burry, I'm amped up. I'm like, how many sparring partners you got for me today? Because I'm sparring like 6 or 7 guys, no break. I'm intoxicated off that Mayweather resume, hearing about Mayweather got fighters moving in with no break. I'm like, man, give me whoever. I'm pulling the Troy. Is there no one else? I'm faking, bro. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. So I come in the gym. Lamont is on the ring, tying his shoes. Burry just sitting there. So I say, B, I'm amped. I'm like, how many rounds I'm doing today? He looked at Lamont. He was like, you ain't tell this man yet? And Lamont put his head down. He said, yeah, man, they ain't let you fight for the championship, son. Are you fucking kidding me? And like I said, it wasn't no urgent. It wasn't no, and let me sit you down real quick. We're going to have a quick evaluation on your brain to see where you at right now, because you work for something your whole fucking life. And I see if I got injured, or I see if something happened on my behalf, but I wasn't informed on anything or why I wasn't fighting for the championship. And like I said, I see if I was unsigned, I get it. But I was signed with Top Rank already. Like it's no excuse. It makes no sense to me to this day. And I'm still trying to find out people. Some people like, man, you need to let that go. Fuck no, not letting that go. I waited 20 years for that moment, and that was stripped from me with no real explanation. And then, like I said, there was nothing put in place after that. It was just like, oh, and ain't fighting for the championship. All right, it's back to normal again. We talk more about shit that's outside of the ring that have nothing to do with boxing, more so what's the next move for Anthony. So if you look at all my other interviews that I did last night on podcast, I'm going to tell you the same story. July 23rd came on a Saturday. Looking on your calendars. 2010, July 23rd was on a Saturday. I was in the house bagging up marijuana to take it uptown to make profits off of it, because I outlawed boxing. I'm like, fuck this boxing. This is how they treat me. And I just watched Lamont lose to Timothy Bradley December 12th of 2009, 6 months prior to this. And I'm like, my big brother lost. Y'all treating me like I lost. When my brother lost, it was like, okay, Ant lost. Ant ain't gonna do what Lamont did. Lamont was the one he lost, so Ant gonna lose to. It's like people lost faith in me. So I fight Brandon Rios. Now, don't look at the fight. Look at the preparation of the fight. I had no type of nutritionist, dietitianist. I had no coach. I had nothing. I had just myself. I was riding a 10-speed bike back and forth to the gym for exercise. But people don't know that I just didn't have a car. About to fight the biggest fight in my life. I don't have a car. I'm on 30th Street, 30-0 with 30 bad habits. Just out there, bro. And like I say, it's a fighter named Kareem Martin that's still with me to this day. Was 15 years old. I was 25 years old. He was beating the entire shit out of me every day in sparring. Every day. But if my coaches would have seen this, if they was there, they'd have seen this, they'd be like, oh, we canceling that Brandon Rios fight. You're not ready. Because you obviously something that's going on in your life right now where you can't get it right. But people were so blind and people were so intoxicated off thinking they know everything about life, especially boxing. And you put me on that battlefield, not half cock, but quarter cock. You understand? So it was a time where me and Burry went 5 to 7 years without hitting the pads, without having a one-on-one that he would have with AB, he would have with Robert Easton, he would have with amateur fighters who leave the gym for months and come back with no explanation why they left. Every time Burry did a head count and looked back at his soldiers, I was never missing. But these other fighters was missing, going to different coaches without telling them, and come back, he just accept them with open arms. If I did some shit like that,
But
it'd
Ant,
have been like, oh,
is Barry not giving you, or did he not give you the treatment that you was expecting because of them 30 bad habits you keep talking about? And what were those 30 bad habits?
and those 30 bad habits will be spoke on my documentary.
All right,
Like I
but
said,
do those affect the way you being trained or the way your trainer's looking at you? If I'm a trainer and you got 30 bad habits, how much time am I investing in you?
okay, and that's true. But the other fighters that you're investing in, their bad habits are obvious in your face. You talk about these bad habits that they got, and you still work with them. My bad habits were small bad habits. Like, they were not obvious at this time. But like I said, if he was in the gym, if he was training me, he would saw some of these bad habits on me. He'd have seen these things that I was doing outside of the ring. Because like I said, those bad habits developed after I retired from boxing. So going into that June 5th situation, I had none of that stuff. But once I walked away from boxing and put myself into the streets, all those things came about. So there was no situation where it's like, oh man, and ain't, he ain't doing his things. Like I said, if you're a trainer and you see a fighter that you love or a person that you love with those bad habits, you will not let them go in the ring. So that lets you know right there is what is this about? Is it about protecting my son or my fighter, or is it about me making this money or me getting him back in this ring just to say, yeah, we beat Brandon Rios? Because like I said, if they were there, would have seen the things that I was doing. Lamont, even when we sparred a few times, Lamont would stop the sparring session and say, bro, you okay? Because there's certain things he would throw out there. Normally I would dodge and block and swat it. It was hit me in the face easy. So like I said, if they were there, the coaches was there to see that, then I'm like, nah, let me have a talk with you real quick, because something ain't going on in your life right now. You got something going on in your life that needs to be addressed.
So
But there
what
was
was
none
going
of that.
on? What was going on? Because Lamont was being treated like a champion. Lamont and Lamont, he fought his friends where you saying they didn't let you fight your friends, the Broners and the people in and around your division. Lamont definitely fought Earl and a lot of people.
But they were
Danny.
not in the same gym.
Oh,
They were not in
okay.
the same gym. They were not seeing you grind. They were not seeing your discipline. You're coming to the gym every single day. I was the first motherfucker in there and the last person to leave every time. So when people leave, when Sean Porter and all them leave, coming out of the gym, I'll be right back there in the morning. When they come back in, I'll be right there like I never left. And they will go out and get these big fights. Austin Trout fought the Charlo brothers twice in my gym. uh, uh, Adrian Bronner, 4 world championships. Robert Easton, a championship against the African kid. Javante
Coleman.
Tank Davis, yeah, Comey. All of, even Jamil Henry had a big fight with what's the kid's name? Triple G coach,
Shakakov.
Shaka Khan, yes sir. The cameras came up, interviewed him, had him running around the projects with like, and the cameraman asked me like, bruh, no disrespect to this man, but like, what's up with you? Like, we see you in here every day. Like, what's going on? And I'm making these bullshit excuses. Oh yeah, man, they working on it right now, man. They putting something together for me right now, which was not true. But I had to keep people honest so they can stop asking me all these fucking questions about when I'm gonna fight again. Bro, if I got $1 for every time a person jump out on me and be like, hey cuz, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yo,
When you
I ain't
gonna
gonna
fight again?
front. I used to ask you that shit a lot. Like, yo, bro.
Bro, yes. And like people want to know like what the hell is going on. And it wasn't that I'm
Damn.
out here not in the gym or not trying to fight. Like, come on, bro.
So
Like,
people was turning you down. That's what it is.
people was turning me down. Some people would be like, at times I were injured, like maybe 2 or 3 times I was injured. Um, but the injuries came from overtraining all the time, training, no fights, just going hard all day, every day. And I'm human. So when something happened, it's like, oh damn, Ant injured again. Because Ant is working too fucking hard and not smart. Smart, smart work is always going to be hard work all the time. I don't want to hear that shit about hard work, dedication. That shit is a myth. Smart work, education, not hard work and dedication. Smart work and education will get you to that point every time. I'm not
Can
saying
you
that you
explain a little bit more?
about smart work.
Yeah, like what's the difference between
Okay,
hard work and dedication and smart work and dedication?
smart work is knowing the human body, knowing that the things that you're about to put your fighters through, what is this exercise catering to? What is going to take away from you, and how did you replenish yourself to put the things that you lost back in? Um, your energy sources, anaerobic, all these things that you need to know that was not explained. It was just always work harder than the next man and you will always win. Work harder than the next man, you will always win. That I see that's not true. You know what I mean? And that's something that my perspective on what I've been through in boxing. I watched Lamont damn near kill himself to get ready for that Timothy Bradley fight. That fight was lost in training camp. I watched Lamont damn near,
Overtraining? Because I watched that fight. He
yes,
dropped Bradley.
overtrained.
He dropped Bradley in that fight, didn't he?
Nah, he hurt. No, he went on a spurt. Like when Lamont got dropped by Bradley, Lamont's such a dog, man. He got up and he went right at Bradley. And if you look at the corner, his corner was like, he's like, what are you, crazy? This kid's hungry. Don't fight inside with him. Like, you got to box. And that's true because Lamont was just out-coached. Burry Hunter was out-coached. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get out-coached and blame your fighter for not executing the game plan when it's simply just we got out-coached. It shouldn't be when a fighter lose, oh, it's on you. But when we win, it's on us. It shouldn't be that way. And I watched my brother lose to 5 people that he was better than and got blamed for all 5 defeats.
Oh, give me them names. What 5 defeats?
Timothy Bradley, Earl Spence, Lucas Matisse, Sergey Olimpiat, and who am I missing? Danny Garcia. Well, of course he won that damn fight, but those are the 5 losses that I seen my brother. He was better than them. He was better than Earl Spence at the time. I think Earl, he got the experience now. He got he got that thing now. He reached his peak, so I give him that. But like I said, man, my brother, pretty much, I was there. I sparred all of my sparring partners for Earl Spence, and none of them guys was gorillas. And there's no disrespect to none of the guys. If you hear in this interview, anybody who was sparring my brother, this is no disrespect to you, brothers. This is just fucking true fucking facts. None of them guys was gorillas.
You mean the
They were
guys
more,
that was getting Lamont ready for Earl?
yes. None
So
of them
you
was
saying
gorillas.
so you saying he needed gorillas to prepare for Earl?
Yes, he needed those type of that mentality that Earl was bringing, because Earl is a dog. Earl is stubborn in that ring. The guys Lamont was sparring, they was letting Lamont have his way, do whatever he wanted to do. Like, and I get it. They was trying to do what they wanted, try to do what they can do with Lamont, but Lamont was just explosive at the time, and nobody could really handle them. Them guys they brought in couldn't handle Lamont. I just feel like he needed more, better sparring. He needed more. It shouldn't have been no, oh, everybody's training with Lamont Peterson, or these Joe Blows coming off the street, haven't been in the gym in years and weeks, and they get to come back and experience doing sprints with Lamont Peterson, experience Lamont in their sparring and stuff like that. You don't get that type of stuff not being in the gym or not being tight with the squad. It was just wide open. Everybody can do what they want to do, whatever, however. There was no
Is
training
that
camp.
is that because it's kind of a it's not a boys and girls club, but it's kind of like a boys and girls club. So because it's a community gym, is that why it's wide open and anybody could work out with the champ?
I won't say that because there was times we did like when Lamont fought American down the street. I guess because that's the first time we ever fought for the championship. So we was all, in tennis open. Everybody was kind of like not knowing the path. So when you're not knowing the path, you're gonna be alert on all levels. And I felt like we got comfortable down the stretch with the Earl Spence and Lamont sparred Earl a lot of times in that Olympic training camp. And Lamont got the best of Earl for most of those times. So we automatically think, oh yeah, Lamont sparred him a lot. Lamont gonna go in here and steamroll over Earl and do this and do that. And you see the results. You know what I mean? And it's like you can see the chemistry. It was the coach ready to pull the trigger more so than to tell you what to do in a fight. And what I mean by pulling the trigger, by stopping the fight. So it's like the chemistry wasn't there. The real work, the smart work wasn't there. And like I said, man, just a lot of things, man, that just I know about boxing then and now that I knew that it just wasn't fly. But I didn't have enough balls at the time to speak up and be like, look, man, this is wrong. Like, this ain't gonna cut it. But like I said, this is my fault. I can look my own self in the mirror and point out things and keep it 100 with myself. I did not have the balls at the time to speak up and say, man, this is not where we need to be at with this Earl Spence fight or any other fight with Limpy at. That fight was March 24th. We started training like early November, hard every day for 5 months straight. By the time February came out, we was burnt the fuck out. And this
Whose
is not.
idea? Whose idea was to get such a early start?
It
Was
was
it
Burry's
because
idea.
what? But was
It
it
was
because the fight wasn't finalized and you just
no,
was staying ready?
no. Let me reassure you, bro. The fight was presented late September. I remember coming to the gym because I was supposed to have been on that Sean Porter Earl Spence card. I know it was Sean Porter and Danny Garcia card. I supposed to have been on that card. Barry was like, "You on the card?" He told me I was on the card, so I'm telling everybody, "Yeah, I'm on the card." So 3 weeks from the fight, I'm stopped hearing things. The way that Barry came to me and told me that I was on the card, he didn't come to me and tell me that I wasn't on the card. He just knew that I know boxing so well that I'm not on that card. And I didn't say anything. And that's my fault. Because I didn't come to Burry and be like, look, man, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep telling me I'm about to fight. Then when the fight comes, you don't use the same energy that you use to tell me that it's not happening. It's just, you just let it dissolve. Like, and his excuse was he don't like relaying bad news to good people. But this is your job. This is the position you take as a coach, as a leader. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have those uncomfortable conversations. And I was never confirmed that I was on the card or not off the card. So I'm like, man, here we go again with this. So
So to be clear, Barry was also your manager trainer.
right, which I think
Okay.
is a bad combination. A bad combination. Somebody
I
that
mean,
know
it's
you
working for
personally,
Terrence Crawford.
but that's Terrence Crawford. Do the percentage. Do the percentage of how many fighters are and put Terrence Crawford in the bowl. The percentage won't even show up on the percentage chart because there's not enough people that's you know that's succeeding with a coach and a manager versus you having to spread her out. I'm not going for that.
Bam
That's
Rodriguez is coached and managed by Robert Garcia. And he got champion Joshua Franco. But
okay.
I get what you're saying. You are right. There are less cases of manager, trainer, coaches successful versus a fighter with his individual manager and his individual coach.
Absolutely.
But I do got some questions from the people. I do want to get these off before you go. We've been having you for a minute. Ruin the 504, which is New Orleans. You kind of touched on this, but if you want to, give him anything specific, he says, what's the reason for the periods of inactivity over the last few years?
504, Louisiana in the house. Let's get it. Bad management, injuries, uh, just lack of speaking out. And that's on me. Like, I didn't go to Bury not one time in these crises of mine, but like, man, when I'm gonna fight, you not letting me fight. I never cried out. How I cried out was train harder, beat your body up some more, which was some idiot shit on my part because I didn't know. Just go beat the bag up some more. Go run extra miles. Go event an exercise or do something to make these people believe that you're in shape and you're ready to go. So, yes, it was injuries, bad management, and just lack of me speaking out on the things that I needed.
James Valdez in San Antonio says, what's your thoughts on Tank ignoring all the greasy talk from Gary Russell calling him out? That is true. How do you guys feel about that in that area? I mean, Gary holds nothing back. He really gets pretty disrespectful with Tank, and you never hear Tank talk about it.
I have no comments on that.
Hmm.
San Antonio in the house. I have no comments on that.
Do you think that fight will ever happen in the ring?
No.
Ooh. Okay. Would Antoine Russell, the 140, ever fight Tank?
That's a possibility. That's
Okay.
a possibility. Um, and that's not far fetched at all. So that could be something.
I got Brandon in Houston that says, "Do you find it hard to cut weight past your mid 30s? What do you do to remain in shape that you find to be the most helpful?"
Stay away from drinking and drugs. And I don't have any baby mama drama. I don't have any kids. I don't have no taxi agency chasing me. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Um, and my diet. Your diet is everything. You know what I mean? And it's not just for boxing. Fuck boxing. We talking about my life. I want to be 105 years old. You know what I mean? I want to be. Oh, I want to see a boxer surpass Mayweather records. Ray Robinson. I want to see these things. So the right thing is to eat right, live right, drink plenty of water, and mind your business.
Mm. New York Bullet, what's good, champ? Respect to you. If you had the chance to fight against any legend to test your skills, who would it be? And that could be obviously past or current.
New York Bullet. Let's do it. Um, Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor. That's who I would love to get in the ring with.
Why, champ?
Because I feel like my rhythm is similar to his. How what I just built in my later career, and I feel like we'd be the perfect dancing partner. And he the type like he got that you got to kill me mentality. If anything, if you used to beat him, you know, because I'm trying to figure out who beat him in the pros. Did he ever take a loss? It took one. I'm not sure, but amazing guy, man. One of my favorites. Um, Aaron Pryor for sure. He'd be the one that I would love to get in the ring with and test my skills and my will and everything that I got in my body.
Yeah, his lone defeat was to Bobby Joe Young.
Wow. And I couldn't even tell you Bobby Joe Young is if you told me that 1,000 times, bro.
Out of all the legends he fought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was either early in his career or late in his career.
Definitely towards the end of his career.
Yeah, I can't see nobody beating that man in his prime. Ray Leonard know what's up. Hearns know what's up. All those guys knew what's up. What was up with him?
And SDX Renzi asks, since you had issues with Barry, is there a trainer that you wish you would have trained with back then?
No. Well, actually, I was getting underground messages from Ronnie Shields. Like
Mm.
because in the Mississippi days we used to see Ronnie Shields a lot, and a lot of fighters you'd be like, man, Ronnie said call him, man, Ronnie, because when I people inbox me, then I finally seen him at the MGM Grand in DC in Maryland. He grabbed me, he looked me dead in my eyes, and he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm always here,"
Mm.
and he let me go.
Shout
That's what
out to
Ronnie Shields
Ronnie.
said to me. Shout out to Ronnie. Always been a good guy. Before I started boxing, his voice was real familiar because me and my brother was big Holyfield fans, and his voice was very refreshing. Like he will be passionate, but not like bitchy. Like sometimes a coach can be bitchy, just blah 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 blah. You can see the urgency, but you can hear the we know where we going with this. This ain't no 1 round, 2 round thing. Overall, over the fight, we know where this going. You know what I mean? And like I said, he was one of the ones. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Rest his soul, Nassim Richardson.
Mm.
He the reason why I got this A+ on my chest right here. He used to coach us when we was younger. Like when Burry couldn't make it to tournaments, he used to leave us with Nazim. When Nazim
Nice.
couldn't make it to tournaments, he used to leave Rock, Tiger, Allen with Burry. And I don't care where I was at, who I was fighting. I could be fighting somebody from Philly. He still be going with me. Like he had undeniable love for me. Like he always wanted to see me win. Um, I love that dude, man. Rest his soul, man. Was a good soldier. Nassim Richardson, man. Oh man, he like I said, he was one of the ones, man, that always, when I see him in them tournaments, I miss them hugs, man. We see him when I was a little boy to come give me a hug and tell me, man, like A plus. When I was like A plus, baby. And at 16 years old, I went and got a tattoo against my parents' will. I didn't ask nobody. He kept pumping me up with the A plus thing. I said, you know what? Get that tattoo right here. And I seen him in the Junior Olympics when I won it that year. I beat Anthony Darrell in the championship. And I took my tank top and I went just like this and I showed him.
Damn, hold up, champ. What weight class was that you beat Anthony Durrell?
132.
What the
15, 16.
fuck?
Yep, 15,
Bro,
16.
when
Because
did Anthony have a 40-pound growth spurt?
no, I'm gonna let me tell you the story about the Darrell brothers. I've never seen a group of kids, a group of people hit a growth spurt the way that they did. And I remember so vividly. Andre Darrell fought 119 in the U.S. Championships in January of 2002. Golden Gloves, he went from 119 to 139. Then he went from the Golden Glove to the PAL, he went from 139 to 156 within 6 months. We kept saying these guys like, man, what the hell is going on? They just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We couldn't understand what was happening, but when we see in each other in tournaments like 3 months later, they just kept getting bigger. We look at the bout sheet because I came prepared to fight Andre because I knew Anthony was sweeping past my weight at 125 because Anthony was 112. But then Anthony went to 119. He skipped 125 and went straight to 132. And then I had to fight 132 because man called Dargan was in the same region at region 2. And Nassim Richardson and Burry was so tight. They like, look, which made sense. We stronger together. We shouldn't beat each other up in the regions and go out to the nationals and get beat up some more. We need to divide this thing out so we have stronger fighters when we go out there. So I was like, cool. So Dynamite cut the weight. I moved up to 132. Even though I was walking around like 127, 128, people would be out there cutting weight. I'd eat pieces of ice cream, just doing whatever I wanted to do. And Anthony Darrell fought in the championship. And that was the toughest fight, my toughest amateur fight in my career. I
Wow.
just remember getting hit with bombs. Like, is this shit ever going to stop? Like, what the hell? Like, the dog Darrell is real. Like, the power he got is real. And I just
Obviously, if it carried all those divisions, that's crazy.
yes. And then he ended up going to 178
Hmm.
in the Olympic trials. Uh, like I said, we couldn't understand how they grew that fast within that short radius of time. But it was a beautiful thing, man. To the Darrell brothers, we kicked it into Ukraine together. The Darrell brothers, because it's crazy, because the bigger brother Andre act like Lamont a little bit, and the Anthony is like me a little bit. It's like we got the same, and we shared rooms together, and that's when we became tight in Ukraine in 2003.
Wow. Boxing, man, amazing. Listen, I want to ask you about Frank Martin. He fought obviously this weekend. So before I let you go, what's your thoughts on his performance and what do you think about Earl wanting to match him with Isak Cruz, who obviously took Tank 12 rounds?
I think Frank Martin is definitely on his game. He looked absolutely beautiful the other night. You can see the dedication that he put in. You can see the knowledge that he's soaking up from Earl Spence, Jamil, and Derek James. And shout out to Derek James too, man. He's doing an exquisite job with those guys, man. And outstanding. But I think Frank Martin right now is the problem at 135. He's a problem for anybody. For Tank, for anybody, Shakur, he's a problem for anybody. And you can
Is
see
he a
he has a
problem for you, champ? You said you were gonna go back down to 135.
yeah, he will be a problem for me. But I believe I will beat him. But it won't be an easy task. That's for sure. Because like I said, Shorty got he got a lot of firepower behind him. Not saying with punches. I'm saying like the backing. You got arguably the pound for pound best fighter in the world today. Arguably the best pound for pound coach today. And you got the undisputed 154-pounder in your ear every day, all day, with the nutritionist, dietitianist, the technology, the confidence, all that. That's what you facing. You're not facing just no Frank Martin, just the name Frank Martin. You facing all those things I just mentioned,
Mm.
and they got that thing down to a science, and they're doing a beautiful job, and I hope they keep it up. And if I was able to get that fight, trust me, I would use all my attributes, which I have a 74-inch arm reach. People don't even know that. I got a 74-inch arm reach. That's like heavyweight reach. You know what I mean? And I would use that as an advantage. And I would never engage or never, of course, Michelle, good little fighter, but I think he was just too green for that stage, for that time. Like he never made the adjustments. He never made the switches. He never did the necessary things it takes to switch and win the fight. So who knows, that loss could be good for Michelle. Come back, get his feet together and maybe disappoint another fighter. You know what I mean? Who knows? But back to your question with Isak, the little pit bull, I think that's a good fight for Frank, because uh Isak Cruz gonna be available. He's gonna be available for him, and I think he'll be able to hit all his points. I think he will be able to execute a beautiful game plan and stick to it and win the fight.
How many fights you think you would want before you get in there with the likes of a Michelle Rivera, Isak, Frank Martin? Or are you ready now? Because, obviously you've been ready and you just weren't getting the opportunities.
Right now, if you can promise me elite 8 to 10 week training camp, I will get in there with anybody. King Kong, whoever it is out there, do you want me a 10,000? If you give me the proper, if you ensure me that I'm going to have the proper training camp, which is cryo machines, hyperbaric chambers, dietitians, nutritionists, personal trainer, um, temperature must be right. Um, all of these things that it takes to win, to give yourself the best chance to win on that battlefield. I'm not saying this is a guaranteed win when you got all these things. You can go on and have a best training camp in your life and get knocked out with one punch. But the percentage of that happening is very slim. And the percentage of you winning with that on your back is very high. I'll take those percentages high than low. So yes, if I was to get a perfect elite training camp from 8 to 10 weeks, you can put me in there with anybody. And I promise you, I will not budge. I will not um think or assume that I'm going to lose. I would know, because like I never had this before, and that will be my biggest confidence going into these events, knowing that when that 10th round come, I can press this button and get your ass up out of there, because my health, not my athleticism, not my rhythm, not my style, not my range, none of that. We talk about my health, which I truly believe that is missing in boxing today. Nobody really talk about the fighter's health, and we're not talking about chronic injuries like diabetes or internal organ damage and no shit like that. We talking about getting prepared for a 12-round event with somebody else who's prepared for a 12-round event just as best as you, just as much as you, and go in there and handle yourself. Because I believe no human being is built for the physical brutality of boxing. You may have the mentality, you may have the grit, the gut, but at the end of the day, no regular person just gonna come off the streets and do a 12-round fight and be okay. You have to prepare for these things. You have to put your body through certain things. The body is an amazing uh machine. It's gonna react to whatever you give to it. So if you put yourself in the best position to be in shape and to be with these elite fighters, it's gonna respond for you. But if you don't, it's gonna respond for you too. And the response that you want is not gonna be good.
Champ, absolute last one. Brandon Lee is the only guy on that tank card with a TBA. What's the likelihood that they throw you in there with him? And is that someone that you would take for January 7th?
Nope. Hell no. And then you hearing it from me. It's not that I'm scared of him or I don't think I can win. We 18 days out right now. And if they was to be like, "Oh, we want you to fight," it'd be absolutely no. I don't give a fuck how much money they was giving or none of that. because, like I said, I know this game. I spent 28 years, nothing outside of boxing. Never had a side job. I never had a summer job. I never been employed. I never did anything else but box, study boxing, love boxing, drink boxing, piss boxing, all of that. And I know damn well that in 18 days, you cannot go in that ring and do the things you want to do. The percentage of you doing what you want to do is very slim to none. And I'm not taking that percentage of chance. And I didn't even know he was on the card.
I know I said that was the last one, but I'm going to ask you our poll question. Who would you like to see Frank face? Maxie Hughes. He's with Dazn. He's the IBO champion. Rolly Romero coming off the knockout loss to Tank. Edwin De Los Santos coming off the knockout win over Rayo.
I like to see that Rolly situation.
A lot of people seem to like that.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly won me over, man. He won me over. I can't stand this little plucker head ass, but he won me over.
What was it? What was it? What did it for you?
That just the confidence. You know, you might think somebody's crazy for believing in themselves that deep. And then just after the fact that he got knocked out by Tank, like, of course, you know, he said what he said, but he's still out here barking. He's still out here barking for, you know, for Earl Spence, even though I know that's far-fetched, but I truly believe he will get in there and try to knock Earl out, even though I know it won't happen. But he will get in there and try to knock Earl out. And Tyson Fury, it's two guys in boxing that I could not stand. And if they won me over, I give them that.
Well, champ, I ain't gonna keep you, man. This was a great interview. Obviously, we're live, so people in the chat have been loving the conversation. I want to thank you for coming on. Wish you the best of success on January 7th. And yeah, man, can't wait to get you back on once you get another fight announcement.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. And shout out to you too, man. Keep doing your thing, man. And you know, your time is here. I ain't saying your time is coming. Your time is here. And I appreciate everything. Thanks for having me on, and good luck with everything, man. And hopefully in the future we gonna, you know, chop it up again.
For
and
sure.
we're gonna talk about that. Talk about that documentary and that story.
Absolutely, you gotta come on so we could tell our audience when it officially drops.
Y'all can be like one of the first ones that I present the date, some of the things that's gonna be in there, or whatever. So just get in contact with me, Peterson Anthony 808 on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook.
All right. Well, champ, thank you once again. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Peterson, the champ, January 7th, back in the ring. Take it easy and enjoy the rest of your day.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.